Hey folks, Cherry here for Sirena Surgical Services and the Drip himself. We are here to talk to you really quickly about a few things that we got going on, okay? Sorry guys, my position was sucky for the filming. But anyway, I wanted to touch base with you because I wanted to fill you guys in. Sirena Surgical Services is a company that started out of the United States, out of Florida, after my cancer journey, wanting to have surgery to just make my body feel better and to feel like myself again, right? Needless to say, my first round was fabulous. My second round, which was a lipo BBL, was horrible, and mostly due to the coordinator and the recovery house that I stayed at. Long story short, they just were really super unethical people, and they weren't people that were there for me. It led me to a situation that was very, very dangerous for my safety. It led me to a situation where I was robbed in my sleep. It had led me to a situation where my medication was altered without my permission. There was a bunch of stuff that happened that just was not safe, and ultimately, because I complained, I got kicked out on day 3 of my recovery process, right? So although I'm half Dominican, my dad is Dominican and my mom is Puerto Rican, I never really had any experience here in the DR. And unfortunately, the experience that I had with these professional people were terrible. And I decided that that was going to change, because those of us that want to have these experiences for ourselves deserve to have them, and we deserve to work with ethical people, people who are good people, not just people that want our money and are going to smile in our face in the moment, but people that are actually going to care about us, people that have good hearts, people that have clean hands. You don't want somebody that's evil cutting into you and working on you when they're thinking about foul shit in their head. Like, you just don't. And you also don't want a nurse wondering what kind of stuff you have in your bag or how much money you have, since you have on a Balmain nightgown or since you have some Gucci slides. You understand what I'm saying? So these are things that we really try to work hard to protect our patients against. However, sometimes people hide in the light. One of the things I really pride myself on, and I pride my business about, is that we are very transparent, and I think sometimes we are transparent to a fault, and people tend to wonder why does she say so much? Why does she tell people that? Why this, why that? I tell you because it's real. I tell you because this is not just Instagram and filters and Snapchat bullshit. This is real life. I'm not a Dominican that was born and raised here. When I came here, I didn't know anything about the local labor laws. I didn't know about the culture, and the scam game out here is so real. You guys, we have been taken advantage of financially, by staff, by all kinds of people from the time we gotten out here. We had a review with an accountant, and I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars we've been losing monthly because we've been getting taken advantage of. And so we've had to make changes. As you guys are noticing, there's going to be new staff and new doctors. Some of these surgeons we started with when they didn't even have a license in this country. Some of the surgeons that we worked with that are currently very popular today are people that when we got to them, nobody even wanted to coordinate for them. What happens, like everything else, people make money, people start getting sloppy, or people make money and they forget what you did for them or whatever else. It doesn't happen just with surgeons. It happens with staff. It happens with friends. It happens with family. I mean, it's just how life is sometimes, right? And so unfortunately for us, we've made some decisions to separate from certain situations that we had, including staff, including surgeons, including clinics, including places that we shop, right? Including even an electrician that we fired because it wasn't convenient for us anymore, and we found out we were not being treated appropriately. So this has been happening across the board because guess what? Sirena Surgical Services got hip to the game. And so now, since we have now that we've made some changes, people are not very happy. People are starting to feel the impact of their pocket. People are starting to feel envious. People are angry. People feel whatever they feel. But what they don't feel is compassionate care for you. What they don't feel is integrity. What they don't feel is ethics. And at the end of the day, they are now trying to slander our business. They are now trying to defame us. They are now trying to... they even text us to say that Alfredo was having an affair with somebody here. I mean, y'all, it has gotten to the point that it's almost like high school. It's really, really out of control. But unfortunately, you guys don't know what's going on the outside, and may get a text message or may get a message from somebody that took care of you in the past, trying to sway you not to come back to my house. You may get a message from somebody saying randomness, or just a random message showing you gossip. Trust me, I've heard it and seen it all. So at the end of it, I don't have a problem bringing this to you guys. People will talk about you, and the best thing to do is to nip it in the bud and to make everything very clear. We have terminated our agreements with different people. Doesn't mean that we fired people. Most people chose to leave on their own, which pretty much showed themselves, no?
Yes.
Told us who people were very quickly and allowed us to put a lot of the dots together. And I just stepped foot in this country. I haven't lived in this country for 2 years. I wasn't born here, raised here, and I never came to hang out here in the summer. I have a very successful business that takes care of hundreds of girls who leave here safe and snatched and celebrating their sexiness and feeling like themselves all over again. If they were able to do what I do or what we do, they would have done it a long time ago, baby, because they've been here. They've been working in recovery houses. They've been doing all of this. Why haven't they done it before? Because they can't do what I do. So the easiest thing for them to do is to try to tear me down, to try to make me want to leave, to try to close my recovery house, to do whatever like that. Just understand that's not going to happen. There's a lot of stuff you guys are not aware about, but I will be dropping my book probably in another month, a month and a half. And I have an amazing project that's going to be coming out on television also really shortly. So I'm super excited because since we haven't finished wrapping up these projects, and I wanted to keep some of this stuff really friendly, but we have a very big focus on reality and bringing you the truth, because there's so much information to make you afraid to not come that we want to provide you the truth. But now this is also our opportunity to talk about the real nitty-gritty about what things are, and the fact that you can't always believe a friendly face. You can't always buy into certain things. It happened to me as a patient. It's happened to me as a business owner, and it will happen to you as an American, a Canadian, a person coming from the UK or anywhere else that has a better exchange rate than here. If you've got better money, if you've got a better situation, you more than likely will run into a situation if you don't work with the right people. So make good choices. So trust me, I've heard it all, you guys. I've heard a little bit of everything. And honestly, at the end of the day, my goal is to always maintain transparency with you. I always say the same thing, and I say it in front of my surgeons. My surgeons are not my priority. My staff, while they are a priority, they are not the number one priority. Our number one priority is always you. And, you know, we try really hard to make sure that we can provide you nothing but the best. And that means that when we see things that aren't the best, we have to make some changes, regardless to who on the outside it might impact. Because at the end of the day, we have a responsibility. Sorry, it's like 5 a.m. We have a responsibility over your life, over your safety. We have a responsibility to get you back home to your kids. And not only that, this is going to be a memory that's going to be with you forever. And so we respect that. We honor that. It is a privilege to be a part of it. And we want to make sure that it's something that is worthwhile for you. So with that being said, while we apologize that we have to bring this type of ghetto to the forefront, it's unfortunately the truth of what we're dealing with in the moment, and we don't mind being transparent about it, because again, the changes that we're making are changes that we're making for you. If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out to us. If you are receiving messages, make sure that you are receiving messages either from me or from me. Really, you shouldn't be getting text messages from anybody else about our services, about the recovery house, about anything else, unless I notify you otherwise that my assistant is going to be messaging you. But outside of that, if you need anything, we are here. We are going to continue to provide you services, and we're going to continue to be here demanding the utmost in ethics and the best for you throughout this process, before, during, and after. Meanwhile, if you need us, like I said, reach out.